One of the most critical components of a brand is a logo. A logo is the face of the business. It's also the first thing that you think about when you're thinking about a company. It's a visual representation of the brand's values, of its personality, and of its message. It helps create memorable first impressions and sets the tone for the brand. It helps grab your audience attention, create a sense of anticipation, and it builds excitement. That's why today we're talking about building and designing a great construction logo. Let's talk about it. Professional construction logo is your foot in the door with potential customers and the way to stay top of mind with your customers that you already have. Now, there are many elements to designing a great brand, a great logo. Those elements are well documented on our YouTube channel, and you can watch certain videos on branding that we talk about. But I want to run through some things, 5 things that are extremely important that I think the construction industry could use when they're thinking about designing some type of branding or a logo. We've talked about construction before, but we've never talked about the specifics of branding for them and building a logo for them. But I want to put it towards the application of construction and in this industry. It's a very unique industry. There's lots of high tech and also low tech. I've seen lots of people use their logos for merch and for the construction crew to be wearing, almost like a uniform. There's lots of like sticker applications and digital laser printing applications for different hard hats and vests and maybe vinyl for trucks. There's lots of application, and so you want to make sure that what you're designing is something that's going to be appropriate for all those different things. With that being said, let's talk about the first thing. Number 1 is simplicity. Overly complex logos don't necessarily convey professionalism or confidence. They often leave the audience very confused and not necessarily understanding what's going on. You got to start thinking about simple and streamlined. Those types of logos, they communicate strength, they communicate power, they communicate assurance with the audience, and that's exactly what you want to be doing, especially in this industry. You want to be more memorable, and it's easy for somebody to remember a simple shape or a simple name than something that seems very convoluted and might be distracting more than memorable. Number 2, relevance. You want to make sure that you appeal to the intended audience. That we've talked about this so many times, talking about your target audience, how to define your target audience. We've talked about also how to stay relevant in different markets. There's so much content that we've already produced on this, but in terms of building a brand and creating a logo for a construction company, you want to make sure that you're thinking about the person who you're going to be interacting most with. And you need to think about what does that audience need from your brand. Number 3, versatility. Your logo should be designed to be very large, but also be designed to be very small. Again, this goes back to number 1, talking about simplicity. Think about like a billboard. If you have a very complex logo, even if it's ginormous, it might distract more than help what you're actually trying to do. Again, you might also want your logo to be small enough to fit on a pen. Is it too complex? Is it too detailed? Or does it just the format of how it was designed does not work when it's very small? We see this often when we work with people and they're like, something isn't working right. Yeah, your logo has too many things on it and you can't put it as small as a pen and have it as big as a billboard. So maintaining integrity is something that you are going to need to be working towards when you're starting to think about the versatility of your brand and the versatility of the logo, because it needs to work on so many different applications. Even talking about applications, how does that work in black and white versus in color? If it doesn't work in black and white, then you probably have too many colors. So again, those elements all matter in terms of the versatility and how you're trying to keep things simple. You should always try to refine your logo and trim all excess. If it doesn't serve a specific function, then it needs to be omitted and it needs to be trimmed down. Number 4, uniqueness. Your logo should set you apart. You should be recognized uniquely as just who you are, what your company is, and what you stand for. Don't try to be like another brand, and you should not design something while looking at another company too much, because you might inadvertently or advertently start to look like them in the application and how they're using their brand and their logo specifically. And that's not going to help you be the last thing, which is memorable. Number 5 is memorable. Your audience should be able to recall specific specific elements of your logo after seeing it only very briefly. Keep in mind, overly complex logos are easily forgotten, and people often don't remember that, and they wonder why the brand recognizability is just not there. After some redesign and some refocus, they usually lose some of the extra weight, and then they start to see that it's easier to work with a brand that is simpler in its design. The right logo is an ad for your business. 60% of consumers will avoid your business if they find your logo unappealing or unattractive. That's just a fact. So if you want your logo to be memorable, you need to make sure that it looks good, it has a broad audience, and that it works well in multiple different applications. You want it to be able to be that mouthpiece that speaks for your business, that allows you to, as we said, get your foot in the door to kind of help you get new customers. The best construction logos project a sense of professionalism and quality that makes customers, both current and future, trust you and hire you. And especially in these types of design and build industries, trust is a ginormous factor. So you're going to want to make sure when you are designing your logo and you're working with maybe a brand designer or something like that, that they're going to be able to help you convey trust, because people are inviting you into their homes and they're trusting you to carry their vision the rest of the way. A great construction logo will also reflect your skills as a builder or a construction contractor. A basic logo made on an iPhone using Canva is just not going to possess the qualities that you're after. Your logo needs to be instilled with a sense of trust and project your ability to build in order to have the foundation of successful branding. There has to be some type of exchange, and people need to see that you are worthy of that exchange. And I'm not talking about just monetary. Again, it's a sharing of ideas, because sharing something that you've been envisioning and maybe dreaming about in terms of a renovation or a new build completely is going to be complicated to share that with somebody. But if they can feel that they have a connection with you, those transactions, those are monetary transactions, become a lot easier because they see something in you and they understand that you see something in them. So a great construction logo builds trust by expressing the following features: simplicity, relevance, originality. You don't want to be like everybody else. You don't want a picture of a hammer. You want to be something that's simple, easy to remember, it's relevant for the industry specifics that you're in, and that it's original, and it makes people think that, oh wow, this person has put some actual thought into how they want themselves to be represented. All right, friends, that's it for now. If you want to find out more about any of the things that we talked about today, check out the rest of the videos and our video library, where we talk about target audience, about building brands, about construction marketing. All these different things are already here on our channel. Thank you for watching, and if you like this, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. Peace out.